One mic.
All I need is one mic.
It's just different.
One mic with Big Mike.
The overall tenor of what he's saying is very stupid.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
Maybe it's not racism. Maybe it's placism.
Brother has to know his place, right, Bob?
One mic with Big Mike.
Things aren't always what they seem.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limit.
Don't just tell me that the reason something's being done is because that's the way it's always been done. Because the first thing I'm going to say to you is slavery.
And now, your host.
I got the big homie here who needs no introduction.
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
What up? Welcome into the One Mic with Big Mike show here on a hump day. Trying to get on over the rest of this damn hump. I'm here being Spreaker.com. That's SPREAKER.com. I'm also on the Spreaker app. It's available for all your mobile devices, whether you're on Windows, whether you got the Android situation going on, you got the Apple situation. You can get it on all of those outlets. You can also hear me live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 o'clock on TuneIn and, of course, on my website, onemicwithbigmike.com. That is the number one, MICWITHBIGMIKE.com. You can also get the show on demand if you don't get a chance to stick around for the entire situation tonight. You can get the show on demand on all four of those outlets that I've already mentioned, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. Make sure y'all checking the show out on Stitcher, man. I got to get my Stitcher weight up. Google Play Music for all the Android users out there. And, of course, YouTube, where you can catch the live video stream on demand. You can catch it live right now if you check out the Facebook page. It is at the number one, MICWITHBIGMIKE. And make sure you guys like the Facebook page and all that. You know, we do a lot of work trying to keep the content up on there and the opinion strong on the Facebook page. So you make sure you check it out, like it, share it with all your friends, do all that stuff. Also, make sure you guys are checking me out on Facebook, on Twitter and Instagram at One Mic with Big Mike. And as far as the show goes, you guys want to be a part of it? Fine. I welcome you to. You can text me at 404-902-8104. You can also leave your comments below the live streaming video, and you can do what my homie Big L has done and jump on in this live interactive chat room. To do so, to get into this chat room, all you got to do is be listening via Spreaker. One more time, it's SPREAKER.com. Make sure you guys are signing up for your free Spreaker accounts. It is absolutely positively free, just like you're signing up for Facebook or Twitter or Snapchat and all those type of things. Then once you do that, search for One Mic with Big Mike and then follow me. That way, every time the show goes live, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, you guys get an alert. Let you know it's time to rock and roll. You can share it with all your friends. I do suggest and ask that you do. I ask that you share me with all your friends. Pass me around. You know what I mean? Just click on that little thought bubble. If you're listening via Spreaker, the Spreaker app on my website, there'll be a thought bubble on the streaming player. Just click that little thought bubble. Boom, you're inside the live interactive chat room. You guys can talk to me. You can talk to Renee or Big L or whoever else jumps inside this chat room. We're going to try to make it happen tonight. We got some baseball going on, so we got to try to get up out of here tonight. I think first pitch is at, 7:08 Central Time, which would be 8:08 Eastern Time is where I'm at. So got some basketball going on tonight. Got a bunch. Plus, I got some stuff I want to talk about. And, of course, the bottom of the hour, the homie Matt Lutovsky from the Sporting News. He's our resident fantasy expert. He's going to jump on, answer all your fantasy football questions. You guys got any lineup questions? You want to know who you need to be picking up off the waiver wire? You want to know if you should be accepting this certain trade from somebody in your league? Shoot them to me. My man Matt will hook you up. He knows his stuff. Please believe. You can also follow him on Twitter at MLUTOVSKY. Send me your questions. Text them to me, 404-902-8104. You can leave them in the live interactive chat room. You can also drop them as comments below the live streaming video, and we'll be sure to get them answered for you. Like I said, as far as today, man, we're going to try to get in and out today. I know I always say that, but I'm trying to watch this baseball game. The homie Big L seems to be a big Cubs fan. He's got this Cubs avatar rocking. Cubs done came back from down 3-1. Got a game 7 today. I'm not the big baseball guy, but I like a lot some postseason baseball. I think of all the major, like the sports that end up with tournaments or series, I think baseball just kind of goes fast. And I understand why, because they got to keep it kind of the same way they do in the regular season as far as the series go. That's why I thought to myself, I was like, all right, then why not make it 3-3-1 then? And then just make that 7th game what it is, you know what I mean? And I understand why they can't stretch it out, because then you give people, you know, if you got like Madison Bumgarner, you got these like, you know, these hellified pitchers, you start, you know, spacing the games out, well, they going to pitch every game, and whoever got the best pitch is going to win. The thing about baseball is people talk about momentum and all that. The Cubs got momentum. I've always heard people who love baseball say momentum is today's starting pitcher. You know what I mean? And that's what it is with baseball. It's not like basketball where you got the same starting 5 going to show up on the court every single damn night. Nah. Whoever the starting pitcher is today, and based on how effective they are against the opposing lineup, that's who got the damn momentum. So we'll see tonight. You know, everybody's up on, you know, everybody in Cleveland and everybody in Chicago got their tight booty going on. As far as I'm concerned, I tried to rationalize with myself earlier today. Like, man, okay, what's the better story to talk about? You know what I mean? Like, because either way, there's gonna be some heartbreak involved. You know what I mean? The heartbreak of a team who hadn't won one in over 100 years. They lose. Now, it wouldn't be as bad, I don't think. It's still going to be horrible as them losing at Wrigley. But it's still going to be bad to get that close. Like, if that's the case, just get swept. You know what I mean? If you're going to take 100-year, what they're calling a curse, this far, and then lose, yeah, maybe just go ahead and get swept, cuz, and just save everybody, you know, like rip that damn Band-Aid off. Don't prolong it. Or you got the Cleveland situation. Now, Cleveland they ride a little bit of a high from what LeBron and the boys did in the NBA, but then you find yourself in a real precarious situation where you can probably guess a lot of those same people who are Cavaliers fans are also Indians fans, and they was all on, you know, the Warriors choke. The Warriors gave up a 3-1 lead. Man, it's funny. Life come at your ass fast, don't it? Like, turn around one season later. Well, yeah, in Cleveland, I guess you skip football season. So, yeah, one season later, you in the same damn spot. Yeah. It's going to be, like, social media is going to be crazy as hell. No matter how this game ends up, no matter how much drama or lack thereof is involved, like if they end up going to the 9th inning or extra innings and somebody just hits a walk-off bomb or whatever, it's gonna be crazy on social media. People gonna be like, things like this just accentuate the weirdness, the weirdness of fandom. You know what I mean? Like, people construct their lives around this type of stuff, like things you can't control and things that aren't benefiting you financially at all. Unless, of course, you betting on the game. That's one thing. But even then, like, people who bet don't necessarily bet emotionally. They say you shouldn't do that, right? They say you shouldn't bet emotionally. I'm not a betting man, but I've heard people who are into that type of stuff refer to betting and say you shouldn't do it emotionally. So let's take them off the table. But, like, people who's like, man, I heard this lady while I was getting ready for the show. Oh, I was at work all day and I couldn't get anything done. I was just so nervous in my stomach. Why? Like, the sun is going to rise tomorrow or not. And if it doesn't, again, still, who the hell cares? You know what I mean? Like, who the hell cares who wins the World Series? Like, I understand a certain amount of trepidation, but, like, people's talking about, like, they dead relatives and I get to celebrate this with my great granddad. Like, nah, you don't. No, you don't. A team is going to win a baseball game tonight. At the very end of the day, that's what it boils down to. It's all the other stuff that people are adding, and you know, the players have a right to be nervous because, like, who knows when you're gonna get back to this point, you know? And this is what you work all that time in spring training and all that stuff for, all that time in the batting cages and all that. But if you just some Joe Smo drinking a beer in the damn bleachers, you ain't invested nothing in it but some hollering and screaming, and then you're gonna do it again next year. The same thing, no matter how good or bad the team is, you're gonna do the same damn thing next year. So, all in all, I don't know. I'm not really rooting for anything to happen. Like, in any game that I watch, I want it to be a good outing, because I can't watch, even if it's the World Series, I can't watch a whole baseball game. I can't force myself to. You got the Bulls playing the Celtics tonight. You got the Lakers in town playing the Hawks. It's a lot other stuff that I want to put my attention on, but I do definitely want to dedicate as much as I can to this baseball game because I think the series has been awesome. I think it's added some much needed storylines to the game of baseball, and for whatever weirdness there is, all the I guess the fandom around it, the people in Cleveland who people love to call the lovable. Like I can't, being from Atlanta, you know what? I can't put myself in a position where I'm saying these people in Cleveland deserve this or these people in Chicago deserve it. I don't give a damn. I'm from Atlanta, dude. 1995, the Atlanta Braves. That's it. And no one's, well, I guess in 98, the Falcons were close in that Super Bowl. But other than that, what you want me to do? I don't care. Like, the Cleveland Indians went to the NBA Finals, won, and now they're in the World Series, back to back. The Chicago Bulls, need I say more? The Blackhawks, should I say more? Need I say more? Nah, man, whatever. These damn people don't deserve. Oh, speaking of, and then a few years ago, the White Sox. Anybody forget about them? Yeah, the damn White Sox. Yeah, you folks in Chicago and Cleveland, you continue to let people think that it's like, oh my God, woe is us. I'm from Atlanta, cuz. Yeah, eat it. I don't care. Hey, I want to see a good game tonight. Other than that, I don't give a damn which one of y'all fan bases win or lose. You know what I mean? The good part for me is that somebody's going to be freaking heartbroken, like Big L. Big L, I'm going to assume that you're somewhere around, I don't know, between 30 and 50. So the fact that the team hadn't won in 100 years shouldn't mean anything to you. Part of that time wouldn't matter anyway because your black ass wouldn't be able to watch it or play it anyway. So, yeah, all that stuff about baseball that people love to talk about with Babe Ruth and Roger Maris and all this, they hit all these home runs. Yep, guess who wasn't there? The Negro. Yeah, so 100 years ago? I'm good, man. You know what I mean? Like, talk to me post Jackie Robinson, all that stuff, Satchel Paige and all them. Yeah, all that after. I saw an article today in Undefeated. And you know what? I didn't even read it. I saved it, but didn't go back and read it. And it had something to do with how Satchel Paige, I think it was Satchel Paige, had something to do with the Cleveland Indians and the last time they were in the World Series. No, correction, Big L. I'm not any type of fan of the Falcons or the I'm from Atlanta. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things that I want my city to do well in sports and have all these good things happen. And they haven't. And I'm not going to be like, man, you know who deserves it? Chicago. Like, I grew up in the 90s, man. I saw every year, a parade going down. I don't know, what street was that in Chicago? Every year, the Bulls, man. So, nah. Not to do that's like you deserve anything. If it happens, it happens. Good for you. If it don't, yep, life moves on. Other thing I want to talk about today, man. Yesterday, the first BCS rankings came out, and oh my God, can anyone hate ESPN more than I do? It's like they don't even care anymore. They don't even care about credibility or any of that stuff, and they'll try to justify anything and everything. And really, it's not even an organization where you can turn to and say, you know what, let me get some conscious-minded, just good information. You gotta dig through all the bull to get to the information, and it's a situation where it's all about clicks and website clicks and just generating debate, embracing debate, and all that. Like this thing yesterday, I didn't watch it, and I know nobody probably watched it, and they knew it too. So that's why something crazy had to happen. So the next day, people will be talking about it. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, let me pull up the list here. Let me pull up the rankings. I'm gonna go from 10 to 1. These are the BCS rankings, the only ones that count. At number 10, you got Nebraska. At number 9, you got Auburn. Number 8, you got Wisconsin. Now here's where it gets tricky. Listen to this. You got number 7, Louisville, behind number 6. Ohio State, who, by the way, lost to Penn State, and they also they struggled with Northwestern just this past Saturday, and then it continues to get tricky. You got a Pac-12 Washington team that is number 5, and they're behind a one-loss Texas A&M team, who I guess you get credit for losing by 19 to Alabama. Sure, whatever. And then it kind of falls in line. Michigan, Clemson, and then Alabama at number 1, of course. So the people who put this thing together, I guess now everything is about, transparency. You got to be able to justify, why you did what you did. And what is he? The commissioner, the chairperson? He is the College Football Selection Committee chairman. Kirby Hocuff is his name. No, it's not Hocuff. I'm sorry, I can't read. It's Hokut. That's just my stupid mind making his name Hocuff, like cuffing a hoe. It's the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm here on Spreaker. The Spreaker app is also available for all your mobile devices. Make sure you guys check it out live. I'm live as well on TuneIn and, of course, OneMicWithBigMike.com. Sign up for your free Spreaker accounts, you guys. And then once you do that, search for One Mic with Big Mike and then follow me on Spreaker. That way you get an alert every time the show goes live. I'm also broadcasting live video on my Facebook page, the number 1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. Make sure you like that situation and share it with all your friends. Big L, make sure you tell all your people, man. Tell all your people that I'm here and let them jump inside this live interactive chat room. You guys can jump in the chat room with Big L. Renee's in the building, too. Click on that little thought bubble that you see on the streaming player. It'll get you up in there. You can also text the show at 404-902-8104, or you can leave your comments below the live streaming video. You're going to need that number. You're going to need all the information on how to interact with the show, because my man Matt Lutovsky is going to join me from Sporting News. He's going to join me at 7:30. We're going to get you straight for your fantasy football season week. What is this? Week 9 of fantasy football season. So we're coming down the stretch here for you guys that are trying to, accomplish the championship thing. Renee, that bye week tore Renee ass up too. Anyway, back to what I was saying about these damn rankings and stuff, right? So the what I say was the committee chairman. He said that Texas A&M, their 4 wins were against plus 500 teams with 500 records or better, compared to only 2 for Washington. Because the Aggies beat who? They beat Utah just now. And then here's the other thing, too, that I kind of just bristle at this stuff about. It's like, what's name was supposed to be better? Stanford was supposed to be better. Oregon was supposed to be better. And this Washington team just ran over their ass. Like, what you supposed to do? They start talking about out-of-conference schedules and all that. Well, in that case, if Alabama lose, we got to have a conversation. Because Alabama is real, real good at scheduling, the deaf, dumb, and blind university, Tech, A&M, like 3 times in a year. Check the schedule. I'm not even playing. You got Louisville sitting there at number 7, which is going to make it real, real hard for them to jump up. I know everybody's talking about how a couple of years ago when Ohio, in English, Ohio State won the whole thing, how they started off ranked number 16. But it's going to take a minute, man. It's going to take a lot just to move up from number 7 this year. They beat Clemson, or they lost to Clemson. That was supposed to be a quality win, but then Florida State kind of fell off the table. They got a couple of wins against, who was that? Charlotte earlier. They struggled a little bit against Virginia this past week. So that Louisville and that Lamar Jackson situation that everybody's kind of looking at and saying, this is going to be the next thing in college football. We're going to see this kid ascend. Seems now that they needed that win more than we thought they did. That win against Clemson, they needed that more than a lot of people probably thought they did. I got some other NCAA news I want to talk about as well. I'm trying to just kind of spray to all fields today. Speaking of today, I lied to you guys last week. Not on purpose, but I lied. For whatever damn reason, I thought that this show started on November 5th. Last year. For whatever, I don't know why November 5th was in my mind. But last night, I'm going through and I'm looking back over the old shows. By the way, you guys can too. All the shows are archived all the way back to last November. You can go to iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music. You can also go, I don't know if they go that far back on YouTube. They may, though. Also on Spreaker, the Spreaker app, TuneIn, and OneMicWithBigMike.com. And I'm going back because I'm trying to see, are people still kind of going back and listening to the shows, to the past shows. And I got to the end of the list, and it was like the first show, I think I called it like I'm Back or something like that, was on November 2nd, which would be today last year. So today is the official 1 year what do you want to call? I guess anniversary is what you would call it of the One Mic with Big Mike show, and not Saturday the 5th. So there's that. I'm an idiot, and like stuff like y'all think sometimes I'll be playing by like I'm not really about that life, that anniversary and birthdays, and I'm really not. You know what I mean? So it's real easy for me to not remember stuff like that, and just so happened today, Renee wanted me to do something. But the whole time she thought it was the 5th because I told her it was the 5th. And it's not. It's the 2nd. So today is the birthday of this damn ridiculously idiotic average ass show. And hopefully we can do another year, and one after that and one after that. We'll see how it goes, man. Everything now is like a day-to-day proposition. On Friday, Ben Simmons, there's a documentary coming out on Ben Simmons. I think it's called One and Done. Showtime did it. I've canceled my Showtime, so I'm going to have to figure that out some kind of way. Maybe the bootleg tip or whatnot. Not advocating that, but, sometimes you got to do what you got to do because I'm going to want to talk about it. But apparently they followed this dude around since he was in Australia to his time in Orlando in high school. And time at LSU, and then, got drafted first overall by the 76ers. So, I'm not messing with Renee at all. It'd be the worst thing ever. Like, when you're doing radio, usually when you're doing radio, there's, like, your producer sits on the other side of the glass, and, they have a microphone as well. And, whenever time they want to say something, they just hit the microphone, and then, that happens. That'd be the worst thing that ever happened to this show if we had that dynamic where Renee could just be like, hit a button and just start talking. That would be like it'd probably be the best, worst thing ever for this show. Like, some of you people who love Calamity would love that and think it was like so funny, but it would be the worst. It would absolutely be the worst. If you guys could see some of the things she says in this chat room, and this is just typing. So imagine someone being able to actually speak like in long form their thoughts. Oh my God. So anyway, Ben Simmons, the injured now first overall pick last year by the 76ers. Where the hell is that damn article, man? Because that dude, he just went in on, he was like, this one and done thing is stupid. I hate it. He talks about how much money, whatever. How much money he was actually offered and the gifts that he was offered. One of his quotes are, academics are quote unquote pointless. And he's talking about not in general. He's not talking about it in general. He's talking about for a guy like him. You know what I mean? For a kid that, we knew from a long time, like LeBron James, from a long time ago that this kid is going to be something way different than somebody who need to be wasting their time playing basketball against children in the damn in college, right? But the NCAA and the NBA have gotten in cahoots and have created this again like a free developmental league. The D League sucks. It's not truly developmental. Like Carmelo talked about it before the season started, like revamping it so it's not like a punishment. I mean, like you getting sent down to the D League to make it actually developmental. The D is supposed to stand for developmental, not demotion. And I think he has a very valid point in that. But the NBA don't have to rush and do that. They got college basketball. So Ben Simmons goes on to say the NCAA is really effed up. That's a quote, and I agree. Everybody's making money except the players. We're the ones waking up early as hell to be the best teams, and do everything they want us to do, and then the players get nothing. They say education, but but if I'm there for a year, I can't get much of an education. He's damn right. Yeah, that's the weakest argument anyone can make about this situation. They get a free education. Look how many kids got to go into debt and be in debt when they get out of school. That's a bigger problem that's created by something totally different, right? The fact that colleges are having to create debt because the federal government and the state governments are pulling so much funding from state schools that they have to use the students to make up the difference. That's what that comes from. And these cats are making, like, college ain't even college no more. It's like a damn country club. And that's part of the deal. You know, you come here, look at this big student center we got with these Olympic-sized pools and all that, but what about my major? No one cares about that. It's about going and getting partying and experimenting with drugs, and that's part of, like, the selling point until you become Baylor, and I'll talk about that situation later. He said he was offered a Bentley. Wraith Rolls Royce, have no idea what that is. That's way out of my price range. A WRAITH Rolls Royce, watches, jewelry, even a damn house. What was that? Oh, my phone dropped. Or something dropped. He said on the trip to a shoe store, the salesman would just let him take whatever he wanted if he asked. But it feels like he's got good people around him. His mom and his sister. They said he kept receipts for everything he purchased while he was in school, so that the NCAA and nobody could never come back and try to give him the old when it wasn't like that. But his mom said the same thing that I said. She says, quote, "If you get a kid who's a child prodigy and he plays the violin amazingly, no one's saying to them you must go to college for a year before you can join the Philharmonic Orchestra," end quote. He's right. I've been saying that for years, man. Like, when people they try to act like, it's about the kids. But what about the kids that don't make it? You know what happens to those kids? They turn into regular students. Like, if a kid leaves college early and he's unable to realize his dream as an NBA player, you know what doesn't happen? They don't close the college. They don't say, well, now you can't never come to class here. No. You do what everybody else does. If you got to take out a loan, if you're really serious about getting that education, you go and get your damn education. But if you feel like you got a shot at something special, who the hell is the NCAA to keep you from that? Or anybody? You know what I mean? This America, ain't it? You're supposed to be able to go out and work and earn a living no matter how old you are. I mean, not no matter. I mean, I know they got child labor laws, but if you're of age to work, you should be able to work. And your inability to work should only be determined by the employer. You don't have the qualification that we're looking for. So, no, we're not going to hire you. Same thing with the damn NBA, NFL, all that kind of stuff. Like, if some 17-year-old is foolish enough to think he could play NFL football, go for it, homie. Go for it, homie. Because you know what's going to happen? The league will tell you differently. Anybody remember Omobi Okoye, kid out of Louisville? He was 19 years old because he graduated from high school at 16. He played for Bobby Petrino at Louisville. And he got drafted in the first round at 19 years old. He's a man-child. And, he got injured, and his career was only 6 years. He only playing like 6 years in the NFL. But, yeah, if some running back is like, yeah, you know what I can do? Play with grown men, with children, and businesses and stuff, fine. Because you know what's going to end up happening? A lesson will be learned. And then the other 17-year-olds who think that I can pull this same thing off will be like, well, maybe I should go to the University of Oklahoma or LSU or some damn where. You know what I mean? The system it'll play itself out the way it's supposed to. But to just tell somebody, hell no. And it's always funny because the rules are different in baseball too, by the way, just in case you guys wonder. A predominantly white sport versus a predominantly black sport like basketball and football. Hockey, the same thing, right? It's different rules for whatever reason. Funny how that works, I guess. Big L's in the chat room saying it's okay for the coaches to get $5 million a year, but the players can't get no money. Yeah, everybody gets money off these cats. Everybody, sign my jersey, and then next thing you know, it's on eBay. There's a Leonard Fournette jersey on eBay because he just was nice enough to sign the joint while he was walking off the field. After a win or something. Yeah, man, that's all it is, man. The NCAA is just about how they can just use these kids up, and the next thing you know, well, it's your fault that you didn't get an education. Really? Really? Is it really? The last thing Ben Simmons says before I move on, and we talk to Matt Lutovsky here in the next segment, he said the NCAA is messed up. I don't have a voice. This is when he was in school. I don't get paid to do it. Don't say I'm an amateur and make me take pictures and sign stuff and go make hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars off one person. Just like I just said, right? But he's saying I can be a voice for everybody in college. I'm here because I have to be. I can't get a degree in 2 semesters, so it's kind of pointless. I feel like I'm wasting my time. Yeah, dude, he's right. Go ball, man. If that's what you there for, go ball. Screw, because the whole thing, the whole premise is around him not going to class. Yeah, for what? What I'm gonna do that for? Can I count money? All right, good. That's all I need. It's the One Mike with Big Mike show. Coming up next, we're going to talk to my man Matt Lutovsky from the Sporting News. We're going to get you guys ready for fantasy football week number 9. So if you guys got any questions or if you got any fantasy football dilemmas, shoot them over to me at 404-902-8104. You can jump inside the live interactive chat room and put them there, or you can just leave them below the streaming player, the live streaming player on Facebook. My Facebook page is facebook.com/WITHBIGMIKE. I'll be right back.
I have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mike with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mike with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at onemikewithbigmike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
When is the best time to talk to
Hey,
your
Matt, what's going on,
family
brother?
about staying in touch during a disaster? When floodwaters reach your door? When wildfires are engulfing the edge of your neighborhood? Or an earthquake is destroying buildings? When a tornado is tearing through town? Or a hurricane strikes? Or is the best time perhaps today? During a disaster, you may not be able to stay in touch with your family or friends as easily as you think. And it's not always as simple as using your cell phone. That's why now is the time to take action. Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
And now, back to One Mike
What are we waiting for? Let's get to it.
with Big Mike.
Yeah. R.I.P. I just killed the club. Hell yeah. We're trying to get on over the rest of this hump. We got a bunch of sports going on tonight. None bigger than that World Series going on in Cleveland, though. It is the One Mike with Big Mike show here on Spreaker.com. I'm also on the Spreaker app. That's SPREAKER.com and the app as well. I'm on TuneIn and, of course, OneMikeWithBigMike.com. Make sure you guys are following me on Twitter and Instagram at the number 1 MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. And check out the live streaming Facebook video on Facebook Live. I'm on Facebook.com / the number 1 MIC, WITHBIGMIKE. We got to get into this fantasy football situation with my man Matt because I got to ask him before I can't run out of time because I got to ask him about what's going on tonight in Cleveland. So, without further ado,
It's time to talk fantasy football.
Let's have some fun. Let's go.
It's time to get those lineups set.
Enzo caught. Touchdown. Yes, sir.
With Matt Lutovsky of Sporting News.
Put him on the board. Championship.
On One Mike with Big Mike.
all right, Mr. Lutovsky, how goes it, sir?
Hey, I'm doing well. How you doing?
Doing wonderful, brother. Got a game 7 tonight. Got some basketball going on. I saw your Timberwolves took care of some much-needed business the other night. Everything should be good in the world of Lutovsky, isn't it?
Well, I was getting better, but I mean, Memphis didn't really try
Right.
last night. So, but you know what? We'll take what we can get and move on from there.
Hell yeah, we got some buys this week. But I didn't look. Who do we have on buy this week, man? We're in week
So I got
8.
another 6 teams on bye, I believe, off the top of my head. It's the Bengals and the Bears and the Texans and the Redskins and the Patriots and the Cardinals.
Oh my goodness.
So got some pretty good ones out, and especially at tight end. That's the position that probably takes the biggest hit this week with those buys. So that's going to create a lot of opportunities for people to maybe pick up some guys off the waiver wire and throw them in the lineup. There's a lot of good matchups for guys like that too. So it kind of works out that way.
Just give me some of those. Give me some of those tight end matchups that you're referring to.
Well, I think Lance Kendricks, he's had a much bigger role in the Rams offense
Okay.
against the Panthers, who are allowed the second most fantasy points to tight ends. And Kyle Rudolph, he's facing the Lions. They've allowed the most. And Cameron Brate, he's a good one on Thursday night. And Virgil Green, he's got a nice matchup with the Raiders. And Richard Rodgers, he's got a good matchup against the Colts. So a lot of those situations there, you can find a sleeper at least, numbers-wise, that match up well.
Give me some guys that are some must starts this week. Even with the buys, we're at a point in the season where we really don't have a lot of those guaranteed go offs as far as DeAndre Hopkins. That Brock Osweiler is killing me, man. Guys like that. Some of the other guys that we may have been looking for. Aaron Rodgers, it seemed to be a little bit up and down. Who are some must starts for this week, though?
Well, I think you look at the matchups and it's always tough to find that. I'm generally a guy who says play the stars, and he mentioned Hopkins, and he's kind of let some people down, and, maybe it's a good thing he's got a bye week this week, so that makes it a little easier for people. But, I always just kind of flip it, and then I'm more worried about the guys who have the bad matchups, the good guys, and certainly the biggest one this week is those Raiders guys playing the Broncos, because the Broncos have only allowed 2 wide receiver touchdowns all season, one in week 1 to Calvin Benjamin, one last week to Travis Benjamin, and now you got Cooper and Crabtree coming, that they got to face. And it's a tough spot. I mean, I don't think you can sit them if you own one of them, but, you kind of got to temper your expectations. And Derek Carr, I mean, he's right on the border of whether or not you want to start him, and so is Matthew Stafford, who's facing the Vikings. So there's some other quarterbacks now who jump in, like Dak Prescott, Marcus Mariota, James Winston, who are much better options maybe than those guys I just mentioned, even though for the season, I'd certainly rather have Carr or Stafford.
Absolutely. He's Sporting News fantasy expert Matt Lutovsky. Make sure you guys are following him on Twitter at Lutovsky, MLutovsky. You know what I never asked you? How come it's only Twitter for you, man? I wish I could be just Twitter, but I have people who are influencing me to do things that I wouldn't normally want to do. But for you, why is it just Twitter, not Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat and all these kind of things?
No one cares about me that much. I mean, look, you're trying to blow up, man. You're multimedia. You got to do what you got to do. I'm just hanging back. Doing what I got to do on Twitter. I get the articles out, but that other stuff, look, I obviously we got the Sporting News Fantasy Facebook page. Right. People want to go there, and also just the Sporting News Facebook page. I do Facebook Live every Thursday around 3 p.m. Eastern, and every Sunday morning around 11 a.m. Eastern. Answer live lineup questions, give updates, things like that. So if people really can't get enough of me, they want more of me, then that's where you find me on those days. You can get a little more.
Oh man, why am I just knowing about this? Well, okay, we got to make sure we mention that a lot more.
I got to do a better chance of advertising it, man.
My man, yeah. You mentioned quarterbacks a few moments ago. Ben Roethlisberger. Mike Tomlin's playing this little game that if he's ready, he'll go. I saw on the website, as you mentioned the website, that you've got Ben ranked number 7 this week, even not knowing that he'll play. For Ben Roethlisberger owners, how should they play that?
I mean, if you own Roethlisberger, obviously you have another quarterback who you've had to play. So, you have someone else on your roster. Hopefully, it's not someone who's on bye. There's only a couple quarterbacks who are worthwhile on bye this week anyway. But, yeah, I mean, you go right up to the line, and if he's active, you play him. If he's not, you don't. I mean, it's kind of that easy. I don't worry about the injury. Roethlisberger's proved time and time again he comes back from injury sooner than expected, and he plays well when he comes back. And he's certainly got the kind of wide receivers who make plays. He can throw it short, and Antonio Brown can take it to the house. So can Sammy Coates. And, if he gets Ladarius Green back, I was talking about tight ends earlier, Ladarius Green, this guy might be a huge difference maker over the second half of the season if he does come back. Sounds like it's either this week or next week. He hasn't played yet this year. This is a guy they gave $20 million to in the offseason. I mean, he's going to be a big part of that offense. He's big, he's fast, he's athletic. So, I mean, Roethlisberger's got the weapons to take off. So if he's in the lineup, he should be in your lineup.
Here's something weird for you. We got a Percy Harvin sighting. He's coming out of retirement. And also, we got a C.J. Spiller sighting after we had a Nile Davis sighting, in which Nile Davis is now unemployed, and C.J. Spiller has popped up again. Are those two names, either one of them or both of them, names that coming down the stretch here? Because we know the talent that Percy Harvin has when he's healthy, and we know the big game breaking ability of a guy like C.J. Spiller as well. And with all these running back injuries that seem to be popping up each and every week, are these guys that fantasy owners should at least keep their eye on a little bit as the season progresses?
I mean, I think it's always worth keeping an eye on people, but I'd be really surprised if either of those guys did anything. I mean, Spiller had a shot there with Seattle, and it actually looked at one point like, okay, he's getting some targets,
scored a couple touchdowns
here or there, and then all of a sudden he's just off the team. I mean, I think that tells us more than anything we need to know about him. So, I mean, I'm not too excited about either of those guys. And, maybe something. You never know. Have a game here or there. But as we're getting more through the bye weeks now and there's going to be less guys off, and people's lineups are going to be a little fuller, I don't think you really need to worry about those guys.
Who are you seeing as some of the more popular waiver wire pickups this week?
Well, this week it was all about these running backs, like with Mark Ingram getting benched, and all of a sudden Tim Hightower's up there. Spencer Ware gets hurt. Charkandrick West is back in the conversation. I think a guy like James Starks, people are looking to stash when he's back in a week or two. So there's guys like that. I think Derrick Henry, too, is the guy who really had done nothing all year, all of a sudden has a good game. DeMarco Murray, predictably, he's going to for an MRI. It sounds like he's going to be fine. But, it just reminds us that he's very injury-prone. So a lot of these running backs really popped up and, could have value. I mean, certainly in Tampa Bay, too, now. They're down to their third and fourth string running back. We don't really know who's going to be the main guy there tomorrow night, but it's certainly worth owning, I think, both of them, just to kind of see what happens. But it was definitely a running back heavy week, and a few wide receivers. I think J.J. Nelson's really interesting, and down in Arizona now. He's been promoted to starter. He's had a couple good games. Now, they're on bye this week. That always sort of tempers people, when it comes to picking guys up when they have a bye. You pick someone up, you want to use them right away.
Right.
So he might just still be floating out there as a free agent. He's definitely a guy worth going to get. He's a speedster, and I could see him having some value too down the road. All
right. The other voice that you're hearing is Sporting News fantasy football expert Matt Lutovsky. Follow him on Twitter at Lutovsky. Tell me one more time about the Facebook Live so everybody knows where they can catch you on, did you say Thursday and Saturday?
Yeah, Thursday afternoon at 3 p.m. Eastern. We're on for about, 20 to 30 minutes, answer some lineup questions, do some things like that. And then Sunday morning about 11 a.m. Eastern for another 20, 30 minutes, more lineup questions, give some updates as they're happening on Sunday morning, which obviously, is about as busy a time as you can get for fantasy owners. So, we just try to help in any way we can. Absolutely. And that's on the Sporting News fantasy Facebook page? Just the Sporting News Facebook page, actually. Sporting News Facebook page. So, yeah, it's just Sporting News Facebook and punch that into Google and you'll find it. Got you. All right, let's get to some of these lineup questions. I got Jarvis Landry against the Jets or Allen Robinson against the Kansas City Chiefs for you. I mean, those are two really good matchups for both those guys. They're high-volume receivers, or at least in terms of targets. Now, the catches haven't really been there for Robinson this year, and he's been a disappointment, I think, for a lot of people. But I got to say Landry just because he's got the higher floor. He's going to get the catches. He's going to get the yards. Touchdowns are a little tougher for him to come by in general, whereas Robinson, bigger target, bigger play guy, you think should score more touchdowns. I mean, I like them both, but if I have to pick one, I'm going to pick the safer option of Landry. All right, the next one, I got a waiver claim here for you, but it's in coupling of a bunch of players, not a bunch, but quarterbacks. Blake Bortles versus Kansas City, Tannehill versus the Jets, Nick Foles at Jacksonville, or Trevor Siemian at Oakland. Yeah, I mean, I'm not worried about Simeon right now, even with the good matchup. And I think Foles, same thing. He's a guy who's got an okay matchup, but look, they don't throw the ball enough for a quarterback to have any sort of consistent or predictable value. Okay. I think it's between those other two guys, and I think it's Bortles. I mean, it's ugly with him, it always is, but he finds a way to get it done. I think more often than not, he's got 300-yard games, a couple big multi-touchdown games. And the thing with Tannehill, I actually like him this week. I think it's a good matchup, but 2 total touchdowns in the last 4 games. I mean, if we're playing the floor ceiling game, Bortles has the higher floor. He just does, which you normally don't say about Blake Bortles. So to me, he's got to be the guy you take there. And Blake Bortles is one of those guys that kind of trick you in fantasy because he plays so poorly like in real football, but they're behind so much and he throws the ball so much, he ends up with a 2 touchdown, 300-yard game every week, and it's like you kind of try to have to separate the two, the reality from the fantasy when it comes to Blake Bortles. Des Bryant versus Cleveland. Des came back last week and had a nice outing, and he did exactly what we talked about, took those targets away from Cole Beasley. And you got Mike Evans tomorrow night versus the Falcons. Yeah, I mean, if you have to pick between those two, I mean, really, those are two guys that should be in everyone's lineups. But if it's down to one, I think it's got to be Evans, just because, with Dez, he had the touchdown, he had the big play, but he only caught 4 of 14 targets. I think there's still a little bit of disconnect between him and Dak Prescott. Now, playing the Browns will usually, cure what ails you. I mean, no question. I do think he's going to have a good game in that matchup, but I just imagine Evans is going to have an even bigger game. I mean, the Falcons' pass defense is pretty rough. We know Evans is the guy there, and we saw what he did in Week 1 when these teams played. I think he's going to do, the same thing this week.
All right, moving on here with Matt Lutovsky from the Sporting News. Make sure you guys are following him on Twitter at @MLutovsky. If you don't get your questions in today, you can always send him a tweet, and maybe he'll get to you and hook you up for the weekend here. Back to tomorrow night. Jameis Winston versus, of course, the Falcons, or Dak Prescott versus the Cleveland Browns.
I think we have them back-to-back in our rankings, and we have Winston 8 and Dak 9, and that's really a coin flip. I mean, Prescott's established a higher floor. He's got multiple touchdowns in 5 straight games. The Browns have given up multiple quarterback touchdowns in all but one game, and that was last week against the Jets, so put an asterisk on that. So I think he'll do just fine, but that kind of sets up as a game where I could see just Ezekiel Elliott taking everything. He's just taking all the yards and all the touchdowns, whereas with Winston, he's going to have to pass. There's no question about it. He's going to have to throw. The running game isn't strong enough right now for them to just sit back and rely on that. And, he carved him up Week 1 again. And you don't want to put too much stock in previous matchups, but we know he can do it. The Falcons' pass defense just got carved up by Aaron Rodgers. So I think in a home Thursday matchup, you like the quarterback even more because you see some sloppy defenses in those, especially on the road.
And the final matchup we have for you is Carson Wentz. He's going to take on the Giants, and there again we have Blake Bortles against Kansas City.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone knows, man, I love Carson Wentz, but it's just, for fantasy, it's just not there. I mean, they throw it short. That's all they do. That generally doesn't help it, lend itself to many fantasy points. And he might have, he's the opposite of Bortles, actually. We got the opposite here, where Wentz better in real life than fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's safe, and he's efficient and productive and helps the team win often. But that doesn't translate to fantasy points, whereas Bortles, hey, dig a big hole and then just chuck it and come back against soft defenses. That does lead to fantasy points. So you got to take Bortles there.
There it is. He's Matt Lutovsky of the Sporting News. He's our weekly fantasy expert here on the One Mike with Big Mike show. Follow him on Twitter at @MLutovsky. And if you guys want to interact with him more, Thursday at 3 on the Sporting News Facebook page. It goes Facebook Live. And then on Sunday at about 11 o'clock, he'll do it again so you guys can get your last-minute fantasy questions in. As we've been doing for the last couple of weeks here, I gotta tap your baseball brain, too. Like, we got a big Game 7 tonight. Who is this loss going to be worse for? That was my question in the last segment, because I think I'll be okay with either city facing heartbreak. So for you, who would the loss be more devastating to?
I mean, it's weird because I've always said that Cubs fans kind of revel in being the lovable losers. That's kind of their thing. So I don't even know. Obviously, you'll be upset and you'll be sad. I mean, there's plenty of hardcore real fans who have no interest in losing at all. But I think there's a lot that are kind of cool with it. Cleveland's still in the honeymoon phase from that Cavaliers title, right? So in a weird way, it's like, I don't know. It kind of might come down to how the team loses. If it's like on a balk in the bottom of the ninth or something,
that'd be the worst.
That could change things too. So no, I think the loss would be worse for Cubs fans. I do, just because Cleveland just had the title, and like I said, maybe in a little bit of a honeymoon phase. But yeah, certainly. I mean, at this point, when you have teams that have been this long of a World Series winning drought, and you're in a Game 7, it's not going to end well for the team that loses, no matter what.
Tell me this: what was the big deal about the closer pitching as many innings? Like, I heard everybody talking about it today, and I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but what was the big deal about Madden pitching him yesterday, as opposed to, I guess, saving him for today, which wasn't guaranteed? I'm not sure. Can you explain that to me a little bit?
Yeah. It's not so much that he pitched him; everyone's fine with that, but it's that he pitched him so many, innings, so many pitches, because he obviously made it, he had to go 8 outs in Game 5, which is, I'm pretty sure, the most he's pitched, most pitches he's thrown all year, I would guess. And so, they had a day off in between at least, but then to come out and to pitch him that many pitches again, and especially when they brought him back up for the 9th, I think everyone was cool with it when he brought him in for the 7th and he pitched the 8th, that's fine. But when he brought him out with the 9th, when they had a 7-run lead, that just seems sort of like, what are you doing? Why are you putting, undue strain on this guy's arm when, if you're going to win the title tomorrow, unless your team plans on scoring, another 9 runs, you're probably going to need him and want him to close out this game. So it was definitely a curious decision to bring him out for the ninth, no question. But, ultimately he didn't throw that many total pitches. The whole, sitting down between innings, which is something closers generally don't have to deal with, maybe that affects his arm a little bit, especially doing it 2 out of 3 days prior. But, ultimately, I'm sure he's going to have the adrenaline going. That guy, when his arm is a little, hurt, he's still throwing 99.
Right.
So, ultimately, I think it's all going to be fine, and everyone's going to be good to go for tonight.
Who wins tonight, Matt?
Oh, I think the Indians win tonight.
Oh, there we go. We got I don't do predictions on the show. I just let my guests do it. So there it is, you guys. Matt Lutovsky.
All I do is predictions, so I'm used to being wrong all the time. I mean, when you rank guys every week, you're basically doing predictions.
This is true.
I'm used to being wrong, man.
This is true. Matt, we're going to talk again next week, brother. I appreciate you, man.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
He's Matt Lutovsky, you guys, of the Sporting News. He's our weekly fantasy expert. Make sure you guys follow him on Twitter at @MLutovsky. My man was like, F the Facebook and all that crap. I wish. That's my dream. Like, I mean, like, I don't have nothing to say to y'all, really, over 140 characters. Not necessarily, but, things got to be done for the betterment of, the process. And again, if you didn't hear me say in the last segment, today is the 1 year anniversary of the One Mic with Big Mike show. Also make sure you guys are checking out Matt on Thursday, Facebook Live on the Sporting News Facebook page. He answers your fantasy lineup questions and all that kind of stuff on Thursday as well tomorrow. And then again at like 11 on Sunday morning. I'm like, man, why my man ain't tell me this before? We could have been pumping that up the whole damn time. Yeah, I didn't even know. I could have been checking it out too, because me, I'm trying to get I'm 6-2. So unlike other years of fantasy football, I'm not really in a position where I just give up, because that's usually my role right about now, this stage in the season. I just kind of like put a lineup in there and don't make no waiver claims. I ain't trying to hear nothing about no trades. It's just like, this is what I'm going with every week. And if it win, it win. If it don't, it don't. But I'm actively, actively putting forth an effort because of my front runner style that I have. As long as things, I'm like the Cam Newton of fantasy football. Like, when things are going good, I'm good. If they not, well, I put on my goofy hat and I pout when I talk to people. Just how I go. We got some stuff to talk about with Cam Newton here before we get up out of here tonight. I'm going to try to let next segment be the final segment of the show, because I'm trying to get this baseball thing in me. It starts at 8 o'clock. 8:08, I guess, is the first pitch. So I'm trying to run that. Look, Renee. Renee's picking the most inopportune times to talk junk to me about where I'm at in this fantasy football situation. Let me tell you something, man. It's a marathon. I'm all about the endurance. You feel me? I ain't trying to sprint. Here's something I want to make sure I bring up to you guys before this show is out tonight. And I'm glad I saw it here on my notes. Y'all gotta stop. And this is, by the way, the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm here on Spreaker. I'm on the Spreaker app as well, SPREAKER.com, and Spreaker for the app. Make sure you guys tell your friends and have them tell their friends too. You can also hear me live on TuneIn and, of course, OneMicWithBigMike.com, my website, where I think you can get like my video blogs, my vlogs, and all that kind of stuff. And some people have written some things that are on there as well. I'm not sure who, but yeah, there's some like writings on there. Not by me. I talk. I don't do the writing thing. You can also catch the show on demand on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and follow and all those things. And like the Facebook page, One Mic with Big Mike, where I'm streaming live video right now. Right now, the video is going. Every day it's a struggle with this damn video too. Like, something's going on with my camera. Anyway, this is what I want to tell you guys. You gotta stop like paying attention and listening to dumbass rappers. You know what I mean? You just gotta like quit that. You know what I mean? Just the attention. Like today, I guess it was Lil Wayne again. You know what I mean? Lil Wayne was like, "What? Black Lives Matter for what?" That dude said, "I don't care." He said, "I don't care nothing about that because my life, only thing I know is my life matters to my bitches." It's like, all right, run it. Like, that don't need to be all over my timeline, because all you're doing is promoting stupidity. Like, let Lil Wayne provide to you what he's able to. And apparently it's not educational dialogue. He's a rapper. He's a pretty damn good rapper. Enjoy that. You know what I mean? The same thing. Your man the other day, who was it? Not Fetty Wap, the other kid. Waka Flocka. I can't wait till we get a real black president because Obama wouldn't. Okay, cuz, whatever. Because, like, I'm very much in the space where I know these idiots, and not just them. The world we live in now is about, let me say or do the most outrageous thing I can so people just start clicking on stuff. And y'all fall for it every time. You know, look how stupid this is. And all you doing is continuously to share it and share it and share it and share it and cause it to be popular. The one thing that you hate so bad, like I saw something yesterday, somebody was like, I wish people would stop sharing this photo and while they're sharing the photo. God, I swear, man. Like, people are so stupid. I can't put it no other way, man. People are just so stupid. Like, even like people like T.I. Every time T.I. put together like more than 3 multisyllable words, apparently it's so very, very deep. When in actuality, it's just as stupid. I watch UMFers continue to post like, look at this ill thing that he said. When my man was like Trevor Noah from the Daily Show was like, look, like, you guys are running around here now complaining about, you know, justice and all this kind of stuff, but all the music, the rap music, is talking about like hoes and bodying cats and killing cats and dope and all this kind of stuff. This dude said, if you want the music to change, talking about like white America, you need to change the situation or change the circumstances around it. And I'm like, but wait a minute, dude. You're like a multimillionaire with like a family show, a family reality show, but you still rap about that stuff. So your situation has changed. And then everybody's like, yeah, that's the truth. No, it's not. The truth is the white people that own these record labels, they know what sells. And the kids that want to do rap music too, they know what sells. And so they're going to emulate what sells. Come on, man. We can't be like, y'all can't be that stupid, man. First time somebody say a couple of words that for the most part don't even make sense in the context of what he's speaking about. It's like, man, he's so ill. He's so deep. No, you're just shallow. That's all it is. He's not deep. You're just shallow and you're stupid. So now Waka Flocka and Lil Wayne and who was the last week? Trick Daddy. Black women better get they act together. Have you seen Trick Daddy? Why do you care about what he or Lil Wayne or any of these cats have to say? Entertain me, cuz. And if you're not going to do that, I'm good. You know, this is going to be the last time y'all hear me talk about this. I promise that. I'm not going to be the stupid police no more. Y'all can do what y'all want to do and be as stupid as y'all want to. I'm just out there trying to promote my show and find little funny, stupid posts that I can comment on. And as Renee said something to me yesterday. What did you say, Renee? That I hijack people so I can hijack your damn posts. And that's all I'm trying to do with my life. I'm trying to hijack your posts with my website to get my numbers straight. Other than that, I can't wait for this damn election to be over too. My God. I can't wait for this damn election to be over so people can just go back to using social media to just post stupid things that make me laugh and cute babies and things of that nature. Because all that's going on right now is everybody think they like the most, woke political person in the world. Look at what Hillary did. Look at what Donald Trump said. Who cares, man? Who cares? This damn country's going to hell in a handbasket and it has been for so long any damn way. Who really cares? By the way, y'all killing off all the damn bees apparently. And if the bees die, like within the next generation, humans going to be going too. So all this big fuss about who going to be the president and all this kind of craziness, it may be all for naught anyway if all these damn bees die off. So there's that. On whose Facebook page? I don't like, people always say that about being on I don't be on anybody's Facebook page. I don't even know what that is. You know what I mean? Renee's saying I must hate to be on her Facebook page. I don't know what being on someone's Facebook page is. Like, I just go and see the things that people post, and I'm like the master scroller. I just scroll. That looks funny. Let me say something about it. Haha, it made me laugh. Scroll. Donald Trump, Hillary Clinton, scroll. Lil Wayne, scroll. You know what I mean? That's me. That's my social media Facebook life. It's not real to me. I've said this before on this show. Like, none of this stuff is real to me. I believe it's all fake. So for me to take it seriously, yeah, I'm good. Somebody's like, you know what we're going to do? We're going to kick you out of this group. I ain't know you anyway. Like, you ain't my real friend. It's called Facebook friend. I don't even know you. Anyway, we're going to take a break. I got to come back. I got to do On This Day. And then we're going to wrap the show up so I can go watch this basketball and this baseball and all this kind of stuff, man. So I have something to talk about on Friday. Because I don't want things to get out of hand early and now one of these damn games and I miss it or whatnot. So, yeah, we're going to go ahead and take this final break of the show. Come back. We're going to do On This Day real quick, knock it out. And then I'll give you guys, whatever else I got for today. And then I can just move whatever else on to Friday or whatnot. It is the One Mic with Big Mike show. I'm here, Spreaker.com being here. Also, I'm on the Spreaker app. I'm on TuneIn. And, of course, OneMicWithBigMike.com.
I only have one question for you.
Do you or someone you know run a business that could benefit from additional exposure? The One Mic with Big Mike show is currently taking on new sponsors and advertisers. One Mic with Big Mike is currently syndicated across 8 different online platforms, and your company's name could be heard and seen across all 8 as well.
Let's get to work.
Please send all inquiries to Mike at OneMicWithBigMike.com. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your continued support.
All I need is one mic.
I'm in almost every school bus and classroom. I go to school with your children. We say the Pledge of Allegiance together. You see me around the neighborhood and you tell me that I'm a pretty good kid. Well, I'm one out of every 5 children in America, and I'm struggling with hunger. This problem is closer than you think. My teacher tells me we can grow up to be whatever we want. I want to grow up to be someone who doesn't go to bed hungry. There's enough food in this country to feed everybody. Please visit feedingamerica.org today and find your local food bank for ways to help. Every dollar you donate helps provide 8 meals for kids like me, quietly struggling with hunger. Together, we are Feeding America, brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
One Mic.
All I need is one mic.
What's the name of the show?
One Mic with Big Mike.
Ain't nobody getting hurt, ain't nobody, there's no crime being committed.
And they say his style is too urban for the radio.
This is real life stuff that's happened to me.
Well, you know what?
You, and you.
One Mic with Big Mike.
I like to be able to do what I want to do.
A sports talk show, but no subject matter is off limits.
Meek Mill's concert is not called the Hell Yeah I Bang Khloe Kardashian concert.
And now, your host.
Put your hands together for the one, the only
Big Mike.
All I need is one mic.
Yep. 2 segments down, 1 to go here. We're gonna do a shortened version today because I gotta get this World Series situation in. When you got the Celtics and the Bulls kicking off in a minute, then we got the OKC Thunder and the Clippers going on later on. Had some good basketball yesterday. Well, it wasn't really good. We got to see the Golden State Warriors get busy on Dame Lillard and the boys last night. And James Harden and that no defense playing Rockets team. It's like the Phoenix Suns reincarnated. He's balling, but they ain't stopping nobody, so they keep losing ball games. They played LeBron and the boys last night, and LeBron and Kyrie did what LeBron and Kyrie been doing all damn season long. I see you, Renee, trying to get Big L to turn against me here in this chat room. Nah, it ain't like, maybe I do sound like an old man, but it's real stuff, man. Like, this world has turned into, like, let me see what can offend me today. People are just looking for things to be offended about, when really, in actuality, you mean tell me you can't ignore Lil Wayne? You know what I mean? Like, if somebody of prominence, again, if President Obama was like, you know what, that Black Lives Matter stuff is stupid, well then okay, maybe let's have a conversation. But he's Lil Wayne. He drinks purple drink and pops pills and smokes and raps about hoes and guns and drugs. I mean, kind of, that really ain't the source that you want to go to, for cognitive thought. Meanwhile, I think I'm kind of ashamed of Big L too, that he's learned more on Facebook than school. Maybe I'm just more ashamed of the schools that Big L went to. And like, stop doing that too, Big L. Stop getting your news off Facebook. Like, do your own reading, because these folks will lead you astray. A lot of these MFers is false prophets on this damn Facebook. They have you thinking everything in the world is happening that ain't. Anyway, before I run out of time, man, let's go ahead and knock this on this day out.
Now, let's take a look back.
Oh.
On this day.
Oh, the day is complete. Renee has put LMAO in the chat room, so mission complete for today's show. What am I? Oh, on this day, that's what that music means. On this day in 1964, check this out. I bet y'all didn't know this. CBS purchased 80% of the New York Yankees for, what does it say? $11.2 million. On this day in 1970, the Cleveland Cavaliers lose by the biggest margin, 54 points in NFL and NBA history, the Philadelphia 76ers, if I can get it out. They beat them 141-87. On this day in 1988, a Mexican radio station erroneously reported that Mike Tyson had died in a car crash. That dude got more lives than a damn feline. Mike Tyson gonna outlive each and every last one of the people that listen to this show right now. Both of you. On this day in 1992, Magic Johnson retired from the NBA again, this time for good, because of fear due to the HIV infection. You remember that? Shut the hell up. The Cubs up are... See, that's what I'm talking about. That's why I gotta get the hell out of here. Who hit the home run, Big L? Jesus Christ. What channel is on? The Cubs up already. Man, they ain't BSing. Anyway, back to you remember that stuff with Magic Johnson? How cats like Charles Barkley was like, we don't want to shake his hand. What if he sweat on us? That's how like ignorant people was back in the... This is in the 90s too, by the way. This is the early 90s. This was popping off. On this day in 1996, Michael Air Jordan was on the cover of TV Guide. Also on this day in 1997, Eric Metcalf. People down here in the A know Eric Metcalf. At this time, he's with the San Diego Chargers, though. He also played for the Cleveland Browns. He set an NFL record when he ran back 2 kicks for a touchdown. The 2 returns gave him the league record with 10 in his career. As we all know, the homeboy Devin Hester has taken over that crown. And then finally, on this day in 1999, the National Basketball Association launches NBA.com TV, a 24-hour TV network. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, your Hump Day edition. I ain't even hit this on the way back.
Hump Day.
Your Hump Day edition of On This Day. Tomorrow night, we got down here in Tampa, we got the NFL Thursday Night Football, Falcons versus the Bucks. You know, Thursday night games. Who gives a damn, really? Hold on, I saw something here. Damn, Renee. Okay. I thought you didn't care. Renee is like, look, early on, like if the Tigers ain't in it, I don't care. So I asked who hit the home run, and I guess this is who hit the home run. She's like, Malone, bitch ass. Like, hold on. Like, you kind of invested at this point. And by the way, Big L, no, schools don't tell the truth. Of course not. Yeah. They're the same ones that want you to believe that Christopher Columbus discovered some junk that people are already living in. Like, yeah, I mean, move into your crib, eat up all your food. It's mine now. I just discovered it. Yeah, I'm playing about the school stuff, but I'm not playing about stop getting your news from Facebook, dude. Like, yeah, open a book. These folks, yeah, they'll lead your ass straight astray in a heartbeat, too, and then laugh at your ass. Anyway, so tomorrow, Bucks take on the Falcons, second meeting of the season. This kid, man, we've been trying to get this kid, Peyton Barber, on the show for like the better part of this year. By the way, this is the 1 year, 1 year mark. I keep laughing when I say it because it's so stupid. The 1 year mark for the One Mike with Big Mike show. Apparently, Renee is going to force me to do some sort of anniversary show. I don't know how that's going to happen. Oh, she meant Karl Malone. Wasn't yeah, he didn't want to mess with Magic Johnson because Magic Johnson had the AIDS. You remember that used to be a thing too. You got the AIDS, it was the AIDS. Take that D off and just call it Facebook. Anyway, so tomorrow the Falcons won't have Dwight Freeney, Jacob Tamme, or Tevin Coleman. Tampa Bay is down to their 4th and 5th string running backs. This kid Peyton Barber looks like he's gonna get a lot of run, if not to start tomorrow. And I've been trying to get this kid on the show for a minute, since before the combine. If you don't remember who he is And you'll hear they'll probably talk about it a million times tomorrow night during the show. He's the kid who left Auburn, wasn't really playing a lot at Auburn, but left early because his mom was homeless, living on his sister's couch or whatever. And he's like, I got to bounce this college degree. Same thing Ben Simmons was talking about. Like, this college degree ain't about to be about nothing because my mom's ain't got a crib. I got to try my luck at this NFL situation. And the young man found himself in a situation, in a beneficial situation where, beneficial for him, I guess. Guys got hurt, and he's been getting some run over the last couple of weeks, so good for him. Sucks that he ain't come on the show, though, because now everybody's going to be talking about it tomorrow, when your boy been on it from day one. Crazy. Anyway, Tampa Bay's coming off a game where they gave up like 600 yards to the Raiders. So we all know what the Falcons bring to the table. Their offense is going to be something to behold tomorrow. I mean, I don't know, because it's Thursday night, coming off the short week and all this kind of stuff. God, I'm trying to watch this baseball game too. Oh, he just barely got that mother over the fence. Who was that? Jason Hayward? No, that's the other dude. All right. Anyway, Derek Carr that's why I can't do a whole show tonight, because I'm gonna be watching this game. 513 yards for David Carr last week. The Falcons, the first time they played it, they didn't get a sack against Jameis Winston. He was sitting back there like it was 7-on-7. But since then, the Falcons have found themselves some semblance of a pass rush. I think they're 11th now in the league in sacks. They've had 18 sacks since the beginning, or not the beginning, the beginning of the season when they played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston, he's been his normal, the up and down Jameis Winston that we've seen since he's gotten into the league. So tomorrow night, being at home with all the emotion, maybe this is a game that the Falcons could definitely lose. And I'm going to tell you why. Because of what I've said for the last couple of weeks. All these perfect games that Matt Ryan has had to pitch, and the ones that he hadn't been perfect in, guess what? They lost because every game is so close. As good as this damn offense is, the games tend to be so close because the defense can't keep people out the end zone or keep people from scoring. So this is a game that's prime. It's prime for Falcons' loss if they're not careful. Big story for some today. I didn't really give a damn. North Turner resigned today. You just like, you know what? It's too much to deal with. This damn Teddy Bridgewater, and then now you guys got me messing with freaking Sam Bradford, and not only Sam Bradford, but Adrian Peterson is going. I got to mess with Matt Asiaga and some kid from Georgia Southern. You know what? He did like the Roger Murtaugh, like, man, I'm too old for this ass, and then bounced. And then apparently his son's still there. He bounced, and his son got to be the one, like, man, happened to your dad, man? Why your dad just bounced on this cuz? Yeah, and then Norv old too. Like, Norv was like the offense coordinator when when the Cowboys were winning championships. Yeah, did that and wrap your mind around that. So anyway, he's gone. Few weeks post, people talking about how good this team was and how resilient, and Mike Zimmer, coach of the year, look at all he's been through. Yeah, this damn ship is about to sink quickly, and Norv is the first rat off because he see what's happening. Because again, they're like the team that's opposite the Falcons. They had to play perfect defensive football in order to mask Sam Bradford being Sam Bradford. And, Sam Bradford's a decent NFL quarterback, but then you start talking about his tackles being hurt, no running game. Yeah, lights out, son. Yeah, the dream is over. Wake your ass up. I mentioned earlier Percy Harvin coming out of retirement to play for the Buffalo Bills. People, throughout my whole sports radio career, people have always loved Percy Harvin way more than I have. I think Percy Harvin he's the ultimate when he's healthy guy. Like, Percy Harvin is such a weapon when he's healthy. Like, anybody you say that to me about, I automatically scratch him. Anything you say before when he's healthy, it only denotes that he's never freaking healthy. I don't know if you guys saw this. Mike Pereira clapped back at Cam Newton. Cam Newton kind of calling out the referee, saying that people ain't protecting him. He got to go tell Roger Goodell. Apparently, he had the conversation with Roger Goodell. He wouldn't really elaborate on it when he was speaking today or whatever. Cam is really teetering, man, on that that real douchey point with me, man. It's like at some point, cuz people are gonna stop like giving you that benefit of the doubt. Like he's young, he's a kid, and all this. This is somebody's dad now, cuz you gotta like at a point, you gotta man up, my man, and just understand that you playing football. Like the league has got these dudes feeling like they can play football for 20 years. That's not what this game is meant to be. You know what I mean? Like, we're going to protect you and we're going to make it safer and all this kind of foolishness and stupidness. No, it's still football. It is a car crash for like 40 times a game. It's not happening, man. You'll have your career and then it'll be over. You're not going to be, Tom Brady. Not you, dude. So anyway, Mike Pereira. He talks about the numbers proving that there's only one quarterback who's gotten more roughing the passer calls than Newton, and that's Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know what numbers he's talking about, but the numbers that everyone's flashing out saying Cam ain't got like no roughing the passers, none accepted in the last 2 years. So I don't know what numbers that Mike Pereira was talking about. And again, understand who Mike Pereira is. He used to be the head of officials, so he's still gonna be. It's like talking about his damn kids. Like all you people out there with stupid kids. You know how you feel when you show up at parent-teacher conference and you know the teacher's trying their best not to call your kid stupid, but you know what they getting at, like little Johnny is a little dumbass, he need more help. Yeah, that feeling. That's probably what you get from Mike Pereira. That, look, man, you talking about these damn referees, and he got on his side of the ledger, there is a point to be made that these dudes are not full-time referees, for those of you who didn't know that. The NFL, with all the money they got thrown around, they won't hire these referees full time. So these dudes got regular jobs during the week. And then they show up, they get tested during the week and all this kind of stuff. But then they show up on Sunday or on Thursday to do their job. And they go back to their other job. Yeah. So if you're wondering why things look the way they look sometimes, that's kind of why. You know what I mean? And I saw another article today as we talk about these referees. Just real quick, some dude it was supposed to be, I guess, it started off as a rant about criticizing referees, but it ended up having some very pertinent things in it. This guy named Barry Mano, he didn't write the article, but I guess was asked about officials in sports, and he runs an organization called the National Association for Sports Officials that he founded like 36 years ago. He used to be a referee. And he founded this organization that has like 22,000 members that are made up of officials and umpires from every sport on every level. And then they keep and they tally numbers. And it goes back to a question I asked last week, like what is an acceptable percentage for a referee or an umpire or whatnot? He says, quote, when you look at the statistics for correct calls, we, meaning the referees and the umpires, are always around 90 to 92%. I would challenge anybody listening to my voice right now to tell me that you do your job at better than 90 to 92%. You know what I mean? Like, when your ass on Facebook for half the damn day, yeah, you don't qualify, cuz. So, for what it's worth, I just think everything is just so much more on the table as far as everybody got their Ultra HD 95-inch televisions. They show every play in super slow-mo from every single angle, and you get it into your mind like, psh, how did I see it and you didn't see it? And there are the certain ones where you think are obvious. My man Ben Troop talked about it on Monday, like certain ones that are obvious, and apparently you feel like if everyone sees it on TV that the umpire or the referee or whomever should see it. But not always. You know what I mean? Not always, because you're not privy to that referee's vantage point or something else because they're human beings. They can get distracted by other things going on. It's like these big, huge human beings running around in the field, and let's not mistake the fact that they got to try to, at some way, avoid all these moving bodies, these huge dudes wearing pads and helmets and all that crap. When I'm talking about baseball or football, so I mean, everybody feel like they can do everybody's job till somebody got to do it. You MFers will get out there and lose your damn mind if you had to be a referee. It's the One Mike with Big Mike show. I got a couple minutes left because this baseball game is really is some things happening. My man Baez, I think he just got an error throwing the first base, and I'm missing all of it because I'm talking to y'all. Don't forget, you can catch the whole show. Even Matt Lutovsky, my fantasy football expert, he joins me every Wednesday. You can catch it on demand on Spreaker, Spreaker. Spreaker also has an app, or if you got the TuneIn app on your phone or your tablet and all those type of things, I'm on TuneIn as well. And on OneMicWithBigMike.com, you can also catch the on-demand episodes of the show, all of them, going back to last November 2nd when I started this thing. On iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube. We're trying to get one of those URLs, I guess is what it is. Subscribe to my iTunes and follow me on Google Play, and make sure you check out the show on Stitcher, and follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the number one MICWITHBIGMIK. You know what I didn't mention today? The question of the day. And we kind of botched the question of the day today because we didn't really flesh it out, and it's one of those things you kind of got to set up in advance to be able to do it properly. And I know better, so I put it on me. I know better because I've done it many, many a time before. The question of the day was kind of a bastard child of this thing that me and Renee came up with called, we didn't come up with because I've done it on other shows. It was called something else, but in this case it was called Ask Mike, or Ask Big Mike. And the premise of it is that you guys, after a year doing this, I share with you guys certain things, but I'm not the most open person there is. It gives you guys an opportunity to ask me whatever the hell you want to ask me. Any question based on anything. When we did it on the other shows, people would call in like, what celebrity would you cheat on your girl with, or would you think your girl will allow you to cheat with her, or whatever, you know what I mean? And then the option is on the host to either answer the question or not, but we didn't really flesh out the idea properly. It was just like, how about we do this? Okay, let's do it. And then, the question got posted and it was kind of convoluted. It was like, here's your chance to ask Mike. And like, I looked at it and I was like, no one knows who I am. They're like, who the hell is Mike? That probably was everybody's question. They just didn't type it like, who the hell is Mike? So we'll do it again at some other time, but we'll make sure we work on the execution. But the question of the day, you can still ask your questions. The text line is 404-902-8104. If you're in the chat room, you can ask your questions, whatever you want to know about me. If you want to drop them below the streaming video on Facebook, my Facebook page is One Mic with Big Mike. The question of the day is brought to us by sportsnewsandbrews.com. So if you just want to ask me any foolish or serious question, whatever, run it. I got a couple minutes left in this show. I got about 8 minutes left, so let your voices be heard. Moving on here, what else do we have today? Oh, I saw this right before the show started, and I thought it was awesome. You guys may not, but I don't care. Apparently, the NFL is in one of those, in some litigation with an insurance company because they want their insurance company to pay out some of these claims, these concussion claims. Well, here's the thing with that. A lot of the information may have to come out. A lot of the information that the NFL doesn't want you to hear may have to come out about these damn concussions and what they knew and when they knew it. Now, it may take a while for it to happen, but it may in fact happen. Because, of course, once you start putting things into litigation, there's this thing called discovery. The NFL, of course, doesn't want that because, like I've been telling you guys for so long, this lie that they've been telling and this lie that they've been standing behind that, we just got to make the game safer. When in all actuality, that was never part of the deal. The deal was that these cats had information and then they didn't disclose it to the former players, telling these guys that, nothing's going to happen to your brain. You're going to be all right, when that, of course, was not the case. So, moving forward, they've been able to change the narrative and tell you guys that it's all about player safety and all this kind of stuff. So, what they're doing, the NFL, they're trying their best, which, if they're lucky, they'll just settle this case and all the stuff that would have come out won't come out. But I want you guys to remember, and I want you guys to hear this. Think about why would they want it not to come out so badly if there was nothing there? You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't care if what you're saying, like, no, we didn't know. We didn't have no idea that these cats was getting, their brains were turning into pudding. We didn't know anything about that. If that's the fact of the matter, you wouldn't care if the information came out. But the efforts that the NFL is putting forward to keep to keep these things from being brought to the light. It lets you know everything you need to know. That they living foul. They've been living foul, and I hope the whole damn thing get exposed. 'Cause I don't think anything's gonna happen to football. I think football will still be there, and poor kids from poor neighborhoods will still want to use athletics as a form of, I don't know, a way of bettering bad situations. But I just love when liars get exposed. It's just like one of those things about me, especially when it comes down to people's safety, and you got people losing loved ones and killing themselves, and a lot of women, former wives and girlfriends of NFL players, have attributed their husbands and boyfriends' change in mood and aggressive nature to head injuries. You know what I mean? And that's the very last thing. I keep saying that the NFL want anybody to put together that piece of the puzzle, that all this domestic violence may have a link to, or that there may even be a perceived link to head injuries sustained by playing football. Ain't nobody trying to hear that. Last thing before we get out of here. Last night we got to see, I mentioned Golden State, the Warriors pushing in on Portland, which, for what it's worth, it looked good because Steph got busy in the third quarter with 23 points. He's just throwing them up from everywhere. You know the way Steph do. But, the one thing, there go Jay Hay. Oh, nah, popped out. The one thing that you got to be looking at when you're looking at this is not the final score, is some of the deficiencies that still reside within this team as far as the defensive rotations. Klay Thompson still hadn't gotten off from three. He or KD hadn't gotten off from three. But the one thing I'll say about KD is this. He now gives them the ability, if they choose to use it in this way, because I know it's fun to be like, yeah, we're going to pass it around in the open man and all this kind of stuff. But they don't have any other true finisher than Kevin Durant on that basketball team. A guy who at the rim, look at these guys when they get to the rim. Like Draymond to get there and finish strong at times. But, is what work is he doing on the perimeter? Like, he ain't really I'm going to break you down guy from the perimeter either. But you see, Klay and these guys, they try to hit you with these trick shots at the rim because they don't have that explosive part to the game that Kevin Durant got. Kevin Durant's the one guy on that team that can get anywhere on the floor he wants to and take any shot he wants to. And the only thing you have on your side is hoping that he's off tonight. And once I think Steve Kerr gets everyone else to realize that, because Steph is going to be Steph, right? But there's some other guys. People keep pointing at Draymond, but there's some other guys too, man. Freaking Klay Thompson might just take that back seat. I know Klay in the offseason said, anybody got to take no back seat? Yeah, somebody always got to take a back seat because there's only one basketball. And they'll figure it out. And once Klay realizes that his position on that team is really to be a defensive stopper, spot up jump shooter. I know all the Splash Brother things, the little moniker is all cute and all that, but you got a real baller on the team. That's why I tell y'all all the time, stop listening to Charles Barkley, man. Big L, he's one of those people that'll lead your ass astray. Charles Barkley, he's a confirmed idiot. And then what he do, people like him and Skip Bayless, they do stuff like they'll say something about a player, and then if what they say is so outlandishly stupid, it makes you seem like if you're being sensible that you're against that player. Like to say that what do you say, Klay Thompson's the second best player in the league or something like that. Yeah, he said Klay Thompson's the second best player in the league. That's utterly ridiculous. That's one of the most utterly ridiculous things anyone has ever uttered in life. But then you hear me say that, it sounds like I'm poo-pooing on Klay. I think Klay is an awesome basketball player. But the list gets kind of long before I get to Klay Thompson, if I'm going to be real. Because I can't even tell you that he's the second best player on that team, and I think he's fourth. You know what I mean? But people get paid millions of dollars to sit on TV and say stupid things. That's probably what worries me the most about me doing this. It's because I don't have that DNA in me, that thing that says, let's see how stupid I can be to get other stupid people's attention. Nah, I'm already stupid enough as I am. So the things I say is just what I say, and it's what I mean. But like stuff like, LeBron James is in the top 5 all time. Klay Thompson, second best basketball player in the league. God, these people make a good living doing that. Meanwhile, here I am. Go figure, right? That's the world. Anyway, I'm out of here, man. I'm about to go watch some baseball and some basketball. And I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk to y'all on Friday. Hopefully, you know what I'm going to try to do? I'm going to try to get an NBA guy on and maybe holler at my guy Steve Silver from the Legal Blitz. Because I've been talking a lot about this NCAA stuff. And usually I love having conversations with him. He's one of the smartest dudes that have appeared on this show. And I got to say one of them now because my man David Scott was on from HBO. And that dude is like a monster intellectually. So, but yeah, my man Steve Silver. So I might holler at him on Friday. And we might break down some of this NCAA BS that's going on with the Ed O'Bannon stuff that I haven't talked about in a while. The stuff that this kid Ben Simmons had to say. All that. We'll see, though. We'll see. It's the One Mic with Big Mike show. Appreciate everybody for hanging out. Don't forget you can get your show. Appreciate you, Big L. Appreciate you, Renee. Appreciate everybody who checked in but didn't, make their presence known. No worries, man. I'm here, Spreaker.com. I'm back on Friday. The Spreaker app. Tune in, OneMicWithBigMike.com. You guys can catch the on-demand episodes there, as well as on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, Google Play Music, and, of course, YouTube. And, of course, you can get the video and the audio on YouTube. So make sure you subscribe and share the situation with all your friends. Do that for me. And then follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the number 1 MICWITHBIGMIKE. Enjoy Game 7, you guys. And then we'll talk about it on Friday. Have a good one.